Hey everyone, today I'm going to answer the question, did God tell me to stop selling Avon? So first I'll just start out about why I started selling Avon. So when I was younger, my mom and my aunt sold Avon and I absolutely loved it. It was just so cool when they would get the boxes, and they were real nice sturdy boxes with nice lids, and they would have the catalog you could look through. And we always got makeup and stuff for Christmas. I remember getting black eyeliner, and that was like the cool thing. When I was in school, the more eyeliner you wore, the tougher you were. Nobody messed with the girl that had all the black eyeliner on. And it was so fun. And then like a few years ago, I think it was like 2018, I started buying Avon from my cousin because I remembered I didn't see it for a lot of years, and when I saw that she was selling it, I was like, oh my word, I used to love Avon, and they have great products. So I started buying from her, and then after a while I was like, I could just buy from myself, sign up to be a rep and get a % off and buy from myself. So I was considering it. In November of 2018, I happened to be at my mom's house the weekend after Thanksgiving, and all my sisters were there and my mom. And I just said to them, hey, if I sign up to sell Avon, is anyone interested? Does anyone still like Avon, want to order Avon? And my mom and my sisters are the most supportive people that you will ever meet. They support anything. That's just how our family is. So they were like, of course. So really in my mind, I was just signing up for a discount, and I thought my sisters and my mom might order. So that's what I did. I signed up I think it was that Friday after Thanksgiving to sell Avon. And, I got my stuff and I did my first order, and there was a lotion in there that I absolutely love. So I thought, I'll just make a video. I'll make a Facebook page and I'll make a video about this lotion that I love because it was like my favorite product in the book. And I posted that video and I got so much of a reaction from people, not just my sisters and my mom. And I was like, oh my word, like I am not a salesperson. I'm an introverted person. I am not a very like go-getter brave person. I'm more a hang in the shadows type person. But I thought, oh well, that's cool. So then I was like, it wasn't really me selling stuff, I was just kind of sharing what I love. So that's how I started doing it. And then God just blessed that. It 100% was God, because this is what started happening. In my first year, I sold over $20,000 worth of products. In my second year, I sold over $20,000 worth of products. I earned 2 trips, one to Jamaica, one to the Dominican Republic. I didn't get to go to either because it was around the COVID time, but they did a cash payout instead of going on the trip. So it was just like a bunch of extra money. I got like awards and stuff from my upline. I even earned a prize for being the top seller of the year on the team and got to pick a prize of my choice. So what I decided to pick was, I was never to an Avon event or convention or anything, and they were having their convention down in Florida at this really nice hotel that had this huge like water, like play area, water park type thing at the hotel. And I was like, how fun would that be, just to like go down as a family? Like I was like excited to go to an Avon event. So I went to that. That's what I picked as my prize. So they paid for my nights in that hotel, and it was a real nice hotel. It was Gaylord something or another, but that was the brand it was. And like you went in and it was a nice big room, and then you walk out on the balcony, which the balcony was like inside the hotel room, which we never stayed at a hotel like that. So it was cool for me. It was cool for the boys. They had like an alligator pit thing in this hotel that you got to go watch them feed the alligators. And then the water park part of the hotel was just fabulous. Like that's when we spend most of our time. But I was also so excited about the Avon part of it. We actually arrived a day or two before the convention was supposed to start, so we saw them hanging all the banners, and my excitement was just growing and growing. And then it was time for the convention, and the first thing that I went to was so awesome. It was like the product experience room or whatever they called it at the time. But you went in and you got to see like all the new stuff that was coming out and all the Christmas stuff that was coming out. And I was just so excited. It was just so beautiful and magical. And I made videos from that room, and, people were really interacting with it, and it was so good. And then it kind of made a turn. I got in an elevator and happened to be in an elevator with one of the higher up type people, I guess. I don't know what her position technically was, but I used to watch her on like training videos and stuff, and I was so excited, and I felt like it was like meeting a famous person, which is probably some of my dorkiness. but she was so rude to me. And I was just like, I was so taken back. But I am a sensitive person, so I kind of let that go. And then there was different trainings I went to, and there were some nice people there too. There were some very nice people, but I went to the last training and I went early to get my seat and whatever, and I got a good seat, and a bunch of rude people came up to me again and asked me if I could move because they all wanted to sit together and there wasn't enough seats for me. And me being who I am, I'm just like, sure. So I got up and moved over to a area that wasn't great by myself. And it was just like making me sad. And they weren't big things. And I know I'm just sensitive, and neither one of those things. I could have just rolled my eyes at the lady in the elevator and moved on. And I could have said to those people, no, I came early to save a seat, or just moved like it wasn't a big deal. But I was just feeling very insecure and sad, and it wasn't a great thing. So the lady that spoke, she was a good speaker. It wasn't really about Avon. It was more like a life coach speaker, and it was nice to listen to her. But I held myself together through the whole speech. When it was over, I got up as quickly as I can, went out to the car, got into the car, and as soon as I got to my safe place, which is my husband, I just bust out crying. I could not stop crying. My boys were in the back seat like, what's wrong, Mommy? What's wrong, Mommy? My husband was like, let's just give her a minute. And I think I sobbed for like 30 minutes. And it wasn't until I could finally get myself together. And it wasn't that the people were rude or anything. Like, I run across rude people all the time. I mean, we all do. That's just in daily life. Some people are nice and some people are rude. That's just the way it is. But it was more like I kind of realized, like, these aren't my people. This isn't my place. And so when I could finally stop crying, that's what I said to my husband. I was like, I don't belong here. Like, these aren't my people. And so just thinking it's just me being sensitive, and also thinking like, I still love the Avon products. I absolutely love my customers. I met so many wonderful people. I was like, well, I could still sell Avon. I'll just never go to another event again or watch their trainings. Like I was selling Avon before I went to this thing. So, I mean, I could still sell Avon. I don't have to do this. So that was my plan, and that's what I did. But there's always something inside me, like something flipped a little bit, like not just the excitement, but am I supposed to be doing this type things? Then one by one, things started to change in Avon, like just different things. And I don't need to get into all the details because it doesn't matter. I feel like that's not even really a part of the story. I feel like things were just happening to more convict me, like it's time to go. Stuff started happening with the websites and the catalogs and the shipping and being out of products. And I mean, and there were reasons for everything. And I would always tell myself, like, don't be in a whiner or a complainer. Like, try and find a way around this. Like, try and find a solution. Like, not everything's always going to be perfect. So that's kind of what I would just keep telling myself to keep going. And so I really know, like, I just really want everyone to know it's not about Avon. I still think they have great products and everything. So the story is more about my hearing from God, my obedience to God, than about Avon. But there's been a couple years that I've just had this feeling inside me, like, this adventure is over. Like, God gave me this thing, and it was at a great time. Like, it was right after I had my last son, and I think I might have had a little postpartum depression, and I didn't have any family that lived here. I didn't have any friends outside my house. My husband's my best friend, but as far as outside my house, I didn't really have any friends here. I had no family. I just had a baby. I was feeling bad about the way I looked and all that. And Avon came along, you know, and then I ended up doing great, and I ended up meeting great people. So it was a blessing. It was a blessing from God for sure. It got me out of feeling insecure. I started using the skincare and wearing makeup again and getting their clothes and chatting with people online about stuff. And it was a fun adventure with my kids, because when it was time to deliver books or deliver orders, I'd get them all in the van and we'd listen to music and sing and deliver orders, and then we'd usually get lunch at McDonald's or something on the way home. And so it was a thing that they loved, that I loved. And I just, somewhere in the past couple of years, just realized, like, this adventure's over, because I was selling so much stuff and winning and earning so many prizes and stuff, and it was 100% from God. Like, yes, I was putting effort in, which is part of the reason why I think this had to come to an end, because I started putting a lot of effort into it, which after the 2 years, like with the years I did the 20,000 minimum effort, but then I started, like wanting to keep that up, not wanting to let my my upline down or my downline down, because I had a team too. Like my first year, 5 people joined my team, and now I was a leader, which I wasn't even hoping for, and it just happened. So you get money from that too if you have people underneath you. So it just became more about like I was always answering questions from people, like on my email or text, or having something to deliver or checking on something, and it became a lot. And my kids got older and they no longer thought it was fun to everybody pile in and sing songs and deliver Avon. So I was doing it by myself, or my husband would just take the orders and deliver it for me. So it was like a second job for him that he didn't ask for. So the things started to dry up. I told you something with the website happened, and I lost, like, I would say 75% of my customers when they did whatever they did with the website. And then like team members started falling off, and I was trying it for a while. I tried to do all these incentives to keep the team members and to get my sales up and whatever. And I realized I was doing so much and paying out so much just to keep this running, when I had to remember I signed up in the first place just to get a discount for myself, and it became a lot more than that, a lot more than, what I had in mind. So I think God is okay that it took me so long to get this message, because I don't think he gets mad at us if we are trying to hear from him, but we're not 100% sure of the answer, because I didn't want to just be a quitter if this was just in my head. So I have been praying about it for the past couple of years, and there's someone in the Bible, Gideon, if you want to look it up. I think it's Judges chapter 6, and Gideon is told to do something by God, and he's not quite sure, so he throws his fleece out. So he throws his fleece out, and I forget if first he says, make the fleece dry and the ground wet, then I'll know it's from you. So he does that, but then he's not sure, so then he throws it out, make the fleece, it's opposite, like the fleece wet and the ground wet, and then the ground wet and the fleece dry. And I'm not sure which order. Look it up in the Bible, Gideon. And so God is patient with him and does the thing, so Gideon knows he's hearing from God. I am not as smart as Gideon, so I had to throw my fleece out for like the last 2 years. I kept saying to God, well, like, what if this? And I think that Avon was like my extra money. It's like how I would take the kids, like if we wanted to go get something to eat out, or even to support other direct sellers, small business people, or whatever I wanted to do extra, that's what my Avon money would pay for. So a little bit of me, I guess, was holding on to it with my own strength, because I was like, well, I won't have my extra spending money then. So all this praying and stuff, and then recently 2 major things happened. One, I started watching the show House of David, which if you haven't seen yet, highly recommend. It's on Prime. It's only 1 season out so far, like 8 episodes, but they're all out, so you can go binge watch it. This is a secret plug for House of David, but it's such a fabulous show. And it's so close to the Bible. Like, I would watch an episode and look stuff up, and it was like, so, some of the lines of the show are like directly from the Bible, so that is so cool. But that's a side note. But anyway, so we started watching that show, and in the first episode, it's about, Saul and I'm not good with the name, so let's just say Saul beat a certain group of people, and he was supposed to kill everyone, including the animals, the king, and he didn't. And so he disobeyed God, even though God was the one that let him be king and gave him all his blessings. He didn't listen to God. So he didn't kill the king, and they were eating the animals and stuff instead of, what they were supposed to do. So God took his Holy Spirit from him, and that's eventually how David becomes king. But, and that's not ruining the show, because that's also in the Bible. So either read the Bible or watch the show. But, and I tell it very badly, leaving out a lot of details because I can't remember all the details. So watch it. But when I saw that, I didn't immediately think of Avon. But then something else happened. I was leading a small group called Freedom. Also highly recommend if your church does freedom groups. join one. If they don't, talk to someone in your church and see if they can start at freedom groups. Highly, highly recommend. So each week you talk about a different thing. And after I saw that show, the week that happened to come up was about surrender and surrendering yourself to God. And I don't want to get this wrong, what it said. So there was a question, and the question was, I was just about to load this video and realized that it cut off the end of my video. So my boys are home now, they're a little loud, so I came outside to make this video. So I hope the outside noise doesn't mess up, but I want to read what came up in my small group so that I don't mess it up. So there was a question: what areas of my life am I not surrendered to God? Am I having a hard time trusting Him with those areas? Immediately after that, Avon popped in my head, and I was thinking, what is it that why am I not just letting this go when I am struggling with it so much and I really feel in my spirit like it's time to let it go? And I was thinking, is it the extra cash? Like, is it so much me thinking like I won't have extra spending money? And then I was like, that's just so crazy that that's even how my mind is working, because God has always provided for me, and especially in the past 2 years, like there's just been miraculous things with money. So it seems silly now looking back, like to even worry about that for a second. And then after that question, they had a statement, and it says, God wants to make our lives smoother by being Lord over everything. It is only when He is in control that we can walk in spiritual order. And I really highlighted this part. It says, anything we decide to hold on to becomes our responsibility to maintain. And I was like, whoa, like He told me to let it go. He's not mad at me. I'm not listening. You know, He still loves me. Everything's still good, but it's my responsibility to maintain it, which is why it's been such a struggle, because it's not what I'm supposed to be doing anymore. This has been an excellent adventure. This is just, the selling of Avon has taught me so much more than selling Avon. It helped me when I was feeling insecure and down. It helped me meet people. It showed me that I could do something I didn't think I could do. I never in a million years thought I would be like high in sales or earning trips or prizes or whatever. And I think it was just, God showing me, like, I always put myself down or think I can't do things, but it wasn't me doing it. It was, if I let God be in control, anything is possible in my life. So even though this adventure is over and I'm finally making this video and letting it go, I'm excited to see what comes next, because just being obedient and following God, like, He gives us so much more than we can dream of, which this Avon was so much more than I ever dreamed it would be. And so I'm just excited to see what comes next. But I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my customers, all the people that have supported me. You have all been so awesome, and not just in the Avon business, my local customers especially have been so good to my kids. There's some of you that, had them over to your house for things. There's some of you that buy them presents when it's a holiday, and like they would fight who gets to carry the bag to your door because you were always so nice to them when they would come. So I just want to thank you, not just for the sales and the monetary support of our family, but just being like such loving people and being so good to me and my kids. So thank you so much. If you are watching this video because you followed my Avon page and you still want to stay connected, follow me on YouTube. I don't know when the next video I'll make, because like the title of this channel, Go With The Flow, I'm really just in a season of trying to hear God's voice and trying to be obedient to whatever He tells me. There's a lot of things that are going to be different in my life in the near future, so we're on to a new chapter. But you can follow me on YouTube and we could stay connected. Or if you're someone who follows me on YouTube and didn't know anything about my Avon journey, just stay with me. Let's see what the next adventure brings. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.